All right, guys, welcome to week 4 of the SOP platform. And so the SOP platform, so you understand, again, many of you are joining now in week 4. You've missed the original weeks, and that's okay. That doesn't matter. Like I said, we're going to make sure that you have all the weeks in order emailed to you. At the end of this 13-week program, believe it or not, we're going to put together a complete online course designed around the SOP. You guys, for being registered with me for these 13 weeks, will have 100% free access to this. Okay. So we're going to put it all together. And these weekly sessions that we do, even though we discuss them and we send out workbooks and worksheets and everything else, we're going to continue to expand on it. Right. So when the training platform is built out, week 1 is more going to be like a 3-week thing, right? And then week 2 is going to be more like a 3-week thing to really dig deeper in your business and really dig deeper into you and how you're developing your business and what you're doing to expanding your business, right? So originally we started with talking about my why. Everybody understands why that's important. And more importantly, everybody understands that it is more than likely going to continue to shift. It is working in progress, right? So your why is like clay. Like I gave everybody a little ball of clay in the beginning of this week, or I'm sorry, in the beginning of the session of the SOP. And you're taking this clay and you're molding it as you get through this. And the reason I say you're molding it as you get through it is because it's not as easy as you think to come up with your why, right? And so when you come up with your why, you're coming across and you are really telling the world, the universe, your colleagues, your friends, your family, the reason why you wake up every morning and do what you do on a daily basis. And that encourages you to be better at what you do on a daily basis, right? I hope that makes sense to you, because we're humans, folks, and humans need purpose and community. That's just a fact, okay? Humans need purpose and community. If you take a human and you put them on an island and you come back and check on them in 20 years, that human will not be human any longer. Okay. We need community. This is a community. We need purpose. This is a purpose. Your why is your purpose. All right. And everybody has their own communities. I encourage you guys, make sure that you are joining our Facebook group. Jump on the Facebook group, the Freedom Group. Okay. And be real strong on there. So something we always like to start off with saying is something I say every morning. So I want you guys to type it in the chat box. Is Freedom Day. That's all you got to type in that's all you got to type in the chat box. It's Freedom Day. I want to see you guys do that. I'm going to wait for you guys to do that, right? It's Freedom Day. And the reason that we say that every morning is because my purpose in Freedom Coaching and my purpose with you guys is to continue to help you build your freedom, whatever that means to you, right? It's definitely a Freedom Day. Guys, I woke up this morning, okay? I jumped out of bed. I knew I had this at 11 o'clock. I shot way the other direction in town, went to go see my 8th grader graduate, came back this way. This is all a part of me developing my freedom, having that family connection and having the connection with you guys, developing our business, right? And making ourselves grow. Then we went into the 5-3-1, right? So we talked about the 5-3-1. Where am I in 5 years? Where am I in 3 years? Where am I in 1 year? We worked on that worksheet. If you guys look and listen, I am a coach trainer. I'm definitely not a babysitter, right? So I'm going to give you the lessons. I'm going to give you the tools. I'm going to give you the worksheets. Whether you do them or not is up to you, but your business will show resolve and result. Makes sense, right? You could go to all the Tony Robbins classes you want and all the walk-on fires you want. You can go to all the Grant Cardone 10Xs and you come to all the SOPs with David Kurz. And if you're not putting in the work on a daily basis, if you're not taking the information and going, okay, let me sit down and mind map this. Let me see where I'm at. Where do I really want to be in 5 years? What's realistic for me, right? See, my 5-year plan, I talked to you guys about it. I'm on the beach at my house, right? I got living room, pool, sand, ocean. That's my dream. That's my 5-year plan, right? And it's actually, for those of you that know me extra well, in 5 years, I've been living there for a year already, right? Because it's really, I got 4 years and 27 days to get there, okay? And there's a reason why my timing is so on point like that, okay? Then we talked about our financial affidavits. Know your money, know your business, know your place, right? And if you know your money, you know your business, and you know your place, you understand where your money's going, you understand what is truly giving you a return on investment, and then you're going in on your return on investments. understanding that the ones that are not giving you a strong return, they're either not worth the money you're spending, or you're not prepared. You are not prepared to handle that particular position you put yourself in, right? Next, we talked about is the disc profile. Now, I sent everybody a link to do their own disc profiles. Whether you want to share it with me or not, completely up to you. What's most important is that when you click that link and you do your disc profile, you take a second, you read that, not even a second, this is like a 30-minute read, right? Read your disc profile, study your disc profile, read it again and again and again, as many times as you need to read it to understand how you act and how you interact, which is more important than how you act, right? How you interact with other people, because I'm assuming that everyone that's on here is in a sales position. If you own a business and you have a product, you're in a sales position, right? And sales is the heartbeat and the movement of every business, okay? Sales is the heartbeat and the movement of every business. So what we're saying is put yourself in that position to understand who you are and how you interact with other people. Very strong position to be in, okay? I know that this profile costs a little bit of money. It is a important part of the situation. Yuri just asked, has a disc profile before if you started late? Yes, in the email that we send out at the end of this, once we have this recording, we'll have the links in there. We're going to have the links to the drop boxes with the worksheets that we've already created for you guys for the 531 and financial affidavits. We'll also send you the link for the disc profile. Everything's going to be in there. You got no problems. You will not fall behind on anything. I promise you. Okay. Then we discussed our avatars. We talked about what our dream client's going to be and so forth and so on, which leads us to today. Today, we're going to talk about a SWOT analysis. If you don't know what a SWOT analysis is, it is an analysis that you do on your business and not really on yourself, right? We've spent the last 3 weeks on yourself and your connection to your business. My why, where am I going to be? My disc profile, my avatar, the financial affidavit, where am I spending my money, right? Because let's face it, and I said it day one, and I'll continue to say it, you take care of yourself, you can take care of everybody else, okay? You first. All right, so now we get into the SWOT. Now the SWOT allows you to take your business and put it in a box, and it allows you to study your business. And this, listen, every week we get together and we say, you got to be 100% real with yourself. You have to be 100% real with yourself. If you're not 100% real with yourself, then this is a waste, because you're lying to yourself, and that's not going to be good for you, right? So we're going to start this up real quick. Let me share my screen with you guys, if you'll allow me. And let me start this presentation. All right, hopefully you guys can see the presentation. Give me a thumbs up if you see it, guys. I appreciate you. All right, awesome. All right, so the SWOT analysis, we're going to talk very, very deep into the SWOT analysis. What does a SWOT mean? It means strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. That's the analogy, right? Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Remember, this is an exercise that we're going to do on your business. And I'm going to send you guys a worksheet to be able to work this out and figure it out, okay? It's a very simple worksheet, by the way. It's a quadrant, and it looks a lot like this, okay? And so let's really dig into what each of these SWOT analysis means and how we are evaluating our business. First of all, you're going to look at that top part. That S and that W, that's all internal. What are my strengths, right, as a business? And what are our weaknesses as a business? Our strengths as a business, our weaknesses as a business, right? And then we're going to look outside of our own box, and we're going to go external, and we're going to say, what are the opportunities that my business has for growth out there, okay? And what are the threats rising up against me? So we're going to look at internal, external, and then we're even dividing it into positive and negative actions, right? Positive consequence, negative consequence, right? Now, you're going to hear me say that many times in the training that we do, because a lot of people associate the word consequence with negativity, but that's not really the truth, is it, right? If I do a good job at something in my office, the consequence is I get paid for it. right? If I do a bad job with a client, the consequence is I may not have that client anymore and I won't make money, right? So consequence could be positive, could be negative, okay? So here we're looking at what's internal to us. Let's look at strengths real quick. And here you could see it. How are we efficient and ethical? Where are we with manufacturing? Are we strong with that? Are we a skilled workforce? Is my staff on fire? Like, are we in culture? Are we great with that, right? Do we have good market share, right? So when you're, I know a lot of you guys are real estate agents and lenders because that just happens to be the community that I'm in, but I'm going to kind of focus on that a little bit. If you're a real estate agent, how much market share do you have in your backyard, right? And then if you're a lender, how much market share do you have when it comes to number of realtors, right? And then, so do you have a strong financial base? Are you prepared for more things? Are you ready to take more risks? Are you capable of taking more risks, right? And then do you have a trustworthy reputation? Man, you get harped on all the time about reviews, Google reviews, Zillow reviews, realtor.com reviews, neighborly reviews. I mean, you could get reviews on so many platforms. So does that build a trustworthy reputation for you? Or do you have a different kind of reputation, right? We all know that guy or that girl that has that reputation, right? That precedes them. Okay. Now let's go into our weaknesses. Now here you look, obviously this is not focused on any particular business, but it's saying, are our facilities outdated, right? Is our technology obsolete? Is what we're using as technology obsolete to what is happening in the rest of the industry? Okay. Do we have weak leaders, weak management, right? Inadequate finances? Are we broke as ever trying to do really big things, right? Do we need to reevaluate that? Okay. And then have we planned in the past and failed at those plans, which is another big piece, right? Because oftentimes, man, I do a business planning clinic every, I would say October, November timeframe, October, September, around that time. I try to do it at the end of Q3 because I believe that business planning for the next year for Q1 begins at the beginning of Q4, right? Because Q4 should be already rolling in, right? And for those of you that are questioning what that means, it's just Q4, Q1, right? For next year. And so I do this business planning clinic and I talk to folks and I say, you're going to sit here and you're going to create the most amazing business plan. And 90% of you will never look at it again. 90%, it's a guarantee. I look at the room, I already know, right? And so what happens, you get so enthralled with what you're going to do and how you're going to do it and what things you're going to put in place and who you're going to work with and what you're going to go after and everything else. And then what happens is you end up with the biggest hiccup because you never look at it and you just keep doing what you was doing in the past. So you have past planning failures, right? Now let's look external. Opportunities for my business. Are there possible new markets I can get into where I can create domination? Is there a strong economy right now? Right? Are there smaller market rivals that I can pick up and eat up and bring on with me? Right? Is there emerging technology that I am in the forefront of? That's a big part, right? Because there could be emerging technology on there, but am I at the forefront of it? Am I using it? And here's the best part, right? Like I got my iPad right here. It's right in front of me. I have my notes in front of me. I've got a PowerPoint on a massive computer system here going on, right? And so I can have all this technology, but if I don't use it to the best of its ability, then it doesn't become an opportunity anymore. It becomes a weakness. Does that make sense to you guys? Yes, right? And so, will I find growth? I'm having growth in my existing market. That's an opportunity for me, right? Now, what are the threats? Competitors, number one threat. Every time you look at a SWOT analysis out there and what they're building out, almost every single time, the number one threat is a competitor, okay? Now, there are folks out there that say, and look, we all have all different coaches teach different ways. We all coach in a different platform. And there are so many people out there that will say, don't focus on your competitor. Don't worry about your competitor. Let them do what they're doing. You got to do you. You got to do you. And I disagree. And don't disagree, right? I don't think you should be so focused that you become obsessed with your competitors, right? But we are in competition, man. This is business. And if you're selling what I'm selling, I got to do better than you. And so I need to understand who my new and existing competitors are and what they're doing really well so that I can be competitive in the same market if I'm working that same market, right? Is there a shortage of resources? I mean, dude, number one threat for real estate professionals right now is lack of inventory. Am I wrong? Right? Shortage of resources. Are there new regulations in place? Right? Can we tie that into inflation, interest rates, things like that? Right? Changing market tastes. That's a big one. Are people in my market not interested in my product anymore and what I specialize in and what I focus in? Right? Is there a cheaper, more suitable option out there? That's a big threat. There's a cheaper, more suitable option out there. Okay. So we can dig into different templates. Now, this is a template that I will send everybody. Okay. Now, again, what we do well, what our customers say that we do well. The reason I want to send you guys this template is because this template asks you the questions necessary to help you get your SWOT analysis completed. Because a lot of times, in the past, I've coached and I send out a blank kind of template like strength, weakness, opportunity, threat, start filling it out. Let's think about it, because we had this like hour-long class on it. But then you start looking at it and you can't, sometimes it just doesn't hit right away. So this template is phenomenal because it comes forth with the questions, right? So if you look at strengths alone, what do our customers say we do well? What is unique selling proposition? Now, here's the crazy part, right? Your USP, your unique selling proposition, that's another subject that we're going to touch on. It's very important to discuss, right? Especially when it comes to sales, your unique selling proposition. But what do customers say we do well? Very few times do industry and sales follow up with their previous customers. Now, I'm bringing this up to you guys because I really, really want you guys to take this away with you, okay? Very few people in this industry will, or any sales industry for a matter, okay, will go back to their previous clients and continue to have a relationship with them. Very few, right? The number one thing that realtors do the worst is communicate with their old clients. It's the worst thing they do. Besides not picking up the phone, that's another worst thing, right? And so when you think about that for a minute, right, creating this SWOT analysis gives you an opportunity to call your previous clients, call your old clients, get them on the phone, right? And ask them, hey, in the process of working with me in the sale of XYZ, right? What did I do extremely well? What did you find was extremely foremost amazing with the business that I created? And this gives you an opportunity not only to connect with each one of your previous clients, but it also gives you the opportunity to create what your strengths and weaknesses are for your business. That's a big piece, right? That's a big piece, getting the opinion of the people who have worked with you already. Do we have strong brand awareness, right? Customer loyalty. Do people even know who you are? Right now, we're going to get into a whole nother session on exposure, right? Now, not that kind of exposure. Relax, folks. We're going to talk about social media and emails and things like that. All right. So we're going to talk about massive exposure for massive attention. Massive attention creates brand awareness. Brand awareness creates customer loyalty through the appropriate strengths of your business, right? Then we'll talk about then you can get into influencer relationships. You can get into proprietary stuff that belongs to you and you only. What are unique assets that you have that no one else has, or maybe everyone has, but you just do it significantly better? Do you have strong capital? If you don't have strong capital, that falls into your weaknesses. How do you change that? How do you fix that? And when you look at these, and look, even in this worksheet, when you come to the threat section, what's the first thing it says? New competitors or expansion of existing competitors. Are they coming into my market? Are they trying to take my market share? Do they want what I'm selling? And are they trying to sell it for themselves? Okay. So I'm going to get this part to you guys. and we could really dig into massive kind of understanding on the SWOT analysis, right? Oops, sorry. Okay, so this is not very clear, but I wanted to find SWOT analysis that were already out there so you can get an idea of what some folks will already put on their SWOT analysis. So here you're seeing, this is for property assets, right? So strengths, it says large asset base. I got a great asset base. Good joint working between services, asset management groups, right? Asset management issues on CMT's agenda means they have their issues in an agenda and their agenda is focused on. That's a big strength, right? General recognition that a property is a corporate rather than a departmental asset, right? So it's a corporate asset. So people, what they're saying is the people in our company, they understand, right? Now, weaknesses, underinvestment in maintenance, lack of good asset management data and software, right? Software could be a big issue for any company, especially today, right? Because we're so tech savvy, right? Lack of clarity about the responsibility, right, of sites, inconsistent policies and pricing. Those are weaknesses, right? If you keep making changes in your company, it creates confusion. If you create too much confusion all the time in your company, you don't get people to truly understand what that business is trying to do. And therefore, you cannot create the camaraderie within your company to even create something exterior to your company. So for them to understand and know, right? Then it talks about threats, failure of members to engage and view issues strategically. That's huge. And that's a big understanding, right? That's them saying our own people are failing to engage and view issues strategically, right? Adequate investment not secured. Whoa, property assets, they don't have enough investment. They understand that, right? That's a huge threat outside to their business. Opportunities, they have increased member engagement, upwards trend of investment in property, increasing acceptance of importance in good asset management, and improving service delivery. Let's go into another one, right? This is another SWOT analysis. Strengths, we have amazing technological skills. We are a leading brand. We have great distribution channels. We have customer loyalty and relationship, right? We have scale, we're scaling. We have amazing management. What are some of my weaknesses? Absence of important skills. What? Right? They understand that there are some skills that need to be had for the company that they own, and they understand that they have a lack of those skills, right? A weak brand, poor access of distribution, low customer retention. Whoa, that's scary, right? By the way, that's exactly what we were talking about a little while ago, being able to close a deal and not be just a transaction to somebody, but be a relationship with somebody and be able to build them out for the long term. Every time you close someone, you should be getting 3 more closings from that. 3 more. That's the average, national. All you got to do is stay in contact. That's it, right? Changing customer tastes is an opportunity, or it could be a threat, right? Because if the taste of the customer is changing, what are you focusing? Why are you understanding that? Why does this put it in the opportunity section? Well, more than likely puts it in the opportunity section because it's saying we as a company are fluid and adjusting to the customer taste. And because we understand, because we have a good customer loyalty and relationship system going on, and we know our customers and we can speak with our customers at a very high level, then we know what they're looking for next. And we know that before our competitors know that. All right. Here's another great one for a real estate business. Strengths, location of a Little Rock has growing market, already owns a portfolio of land and residential property. The company is coming up with extensive advertising and aims to market and promote to new project opportunities. Familiarity with geographical area, resources and capabilities that will continue to the success or contribute to the success. Let's go to weaknesses real quick. The company needs funding and working capital for a successful launch. As a new business, the company must build its credibility. So it's saying they've got all the knowledge, they've got customer service commitment, they've got an established contact list, they've got some portfolio, they're already in the area, But because they're a new business, they understand that they need to build credibility within the community. Okay. Then you go into opportunities, increasing popularity of the industry, right? So why is that an opportunity for a real estate business, right? If you've been in this business long enough, right? So I've been in this business for 17 years now. And you watch as real estate schools slow down, and you only have a few people going to get their real estate license, and then the real estate market shifts. Everybody wants to be a realtor. Real estate schools are booming. And as a real estate company, it's great because there's a popularity in the industry, which means you get to hire more real estate agents in your area, right? Expansion of services in other real estate activities like property management, valuation, which is appraisals, right? If you're a real estate company, you're expanding into mortgages and title, right? Things of that nature. Growing among demographic segments. Now, threats. This was obviously written in the last year or so, right? A prolonged period of COVID-19 pandemic, right? That was a threat for their business. And existing competitors have more resources and reach to the customers in the market. Because remember, they wrote that one of their weaknesses was that they're a new business and the company needs to build this credibility within the community. It's one of the existing threats, one of the threats that they cannot control, right? Is existing competitors have more resources to reach the customers in that market. They've been there longer. They know them better, so forth and so on. All right. All right. So something I want you guys to do, I want you guys to work on your SWOT. Now, I'm going to be sending you guys, again, that one worksheet that is going to allow you to be able to build out your SWOT analysis. It's going to allow you to understand your business. It's going to allow you to understand. Now, this is a study exercise, guys. It's not something you're going to sit down, unless you're damn good and you already know. It's not something you're going to sit down and just knock out 1, 2, 3, 4, like, you know, and be done. This is something you're going to have to study, like we discussed, you know, having to call your old clients and see what were your strengths and weaknesses with them, what you did very well and what they wish you would have done better. And have those candid conversations, right? Talk to your colleagues, your coworkers, see what they say. Have a great conversation with people. Kindle those relationships, but at the same time, you're building your strengths and weaknesses, right? Then also look at what you have in front of you. Am I using the technology available to me well? Am I making the calls I need to make? Am I communicating with my database effectively? Am I reaching out to everyone on my phone consistently? Do I have a CRM in place, a client relationship management system in place? Am I taking the right steps to build my business? Am I investing money wisely? Do I have backup funds or am I broke, right? These are the things that are all internal, but now you get to study the external as well, which is great, by the way, because it forces you to say, okay, who's dominating in my market? And it forces you to go to the MLS, circle your market area, where it is that you sell and where you want to be massively effective, and see who the #1 people there are and what companies they're with, and see what those folks do better than anybody else. Once you can figure out what those folks do better than anybody else, that will help you understand what opportunities are available out there for you and what threats are out there for you. Remember, not every competitor is a threat, by the way. I know we've talked about that a couple of times, but not every competitor is a threat. Some competitors are an opportunity for you to become massively friendly with and absorb, right? Depending what it is that you're trying to do with your business. You can absorb a competitor, do business with a competitor, create marketing plans with a competitor. I mean, there's so much you can do with someone who's willing and able and capable, right? Also, take this opportunity to learn your DISC profile and study your surrounding people. That's something that I told you guys with the DISC profile. Learn you, then start studying the people around you. Look at them, see how they act, ask them key questions, see how they react, and try to think to yourself what part of the DISC they are. Are they a driver, influencer? Are they steady or conscientious, right? And then now understanding your SWOT profile, you know, sometimes when somebody does a SWOT profile, they realize, maybe I'm not in the right market. Maybe I need to shift to a different market, Or maybe I'm focusing on the wrong product. Maybe I need a different product to become the subject matter expert on, the SME, right? And the SWOT analysis will do that for you. So now has your avatar changed, right? Has the person that you want to work with changed, right? Some folks will say, you know, well, dang it, I'm in this area and it's flooded with realtors and, you know, there is very little inventory. But if I just shift it to the left 4 square miles, right, there's a little bit more inventory, but less realtors want to work in that area because you got less dreamers over there. So I'm going to go dominate over there and then spill into over here. It's a long-term game, right? This is the long plan. You know, everybody gets into real estate to get rich quick. You know, everybody opens a business and they instantly imagine, you know, this time next year, I'm going to be the #1. Relax. It's a time period, takes time to build, takes time to grow, takes knowledge, takes massive study, and then it takes action. So has your why changed, right? Why you wake up in the morning? Does it shift? Does it change with understanding your SWOT analysis? Okay. Lastly, make sure you join our Facebook group. We'll get you guys a link. Follow me on Instagram, David Adam Kurz. Let's stay connected on there. As always, I'd like to open up the floor for any questions right now, and open it up to you guys to be able to throw anything out there. And while you guys are wondering, as we push forward in the weeks, next week, we're going to be getting into a vision and mission. I'm going to give you an exercise on how to create your vision and mission, and we're going to get deep into that. Then we're going to get social media, systems, time and schedule, plan implementation, success and gratitude. And we always finish with success, you know, success meanings and gratitude. That's how the 13-week program ends. Okay. And then here's the crazy part. We're already meeting at Thursday at 11 a.m. every single week. So why would I stop that, right? So at the end of this 13-week SOP program that's very ordained, we're going to continue to have masterminds on a weekly basis with different topics and different things and different guests and so forth and so on. So I welcome you guys to that. Make sure you join the Facebook group. Again, I'll send you the link to that. Just type in Freedom Organization. You should be able to find it. And then follow me on Instagram. Does anybody have any questions out there that they want to tap in real quick? Cedric, Rodney, I appreciate you guys. Carolina, great. Thank you. Jeannie, thank you. Jay, what's up? Thank you.
Hey, David, I want to add, I definitely think that the SWOT analysis is something on a personal for every agent to complete for yourself, but also for team leaders too. If you have a small team or whatever size team you have, I think it's important to consistently be doing the SWOT analysis to improve yourself and your growth. So, and I love the reconnection piece. I think I want to establish that if you lost touch with your clients, really reconnecting with them, and then maybe if you didn't get your review at that time, get it at the moment, so I think that's really good. So some of the things that were highlighted for me, for sure.
Awesome. I appreciate that. And what Jeannie's talking about is your business, right? Really being able to focus on your business. If your business is solo agent or team leader or broker owner or organization owner, or you own a bicycle store, it's all the same stuff, right? And so she's telling you, like, focus on creating your SWOT. Now, guys, we're going to create the SWOT now, right? This is for now. 6 months from now, you might take a peek around in the market because you're understanding more and more because you're studying, right? And you might look around and go, you know what? I better sit down and do another SWOT analysis and see what's going on, right? And it could be, or it could be a year. I definitely recommend at least once a year, you got to do this. At least once a year, you have to create that SWOT analysis. At least once a year, you have to be involved with yourself and your business and evaluate your internal, external, your weak and your strong, right? All right. So Yuri just wrote, are there any, Yuri, you want to jump on and ask your question? Just unmute yourself and jump on.
Yeah, sure. Hi, how are you? First time. I just want to know, I appreciate the training, and obviously that big takeaway about the whole reaching out to your past clients is really good. But I just want to know, during this program, is there going to be any, besides what we're doing, any actionable stuff like prospecting or determining how to find our farm area or market share, things like that, or tactics on how to what you should be doing on a daily basis, I guess.
Absolutely. So right now, with the first 4 or 5 weeks, what we really dig into is building the foundation for the business, because my coaching is very much built around understanding that you need to have a foundation, right, for your business before you could go do the business, right? So, and the foundational work that we do is not difficult. It's easy foundational work. It's not like, for 5 weeks, you can't touch anything and you can't do anything, right? But as we begin to progress, we're going to be talking about how to figure out market share, how to understand different markets and where they work the best, right? We're going to figure out how to attack those markets and different tactics that are used, including using online and social media branding, right? We're going to talk about marketing branding as well. And so all of those topics will be covered. It's going to be pretty awesome.
Thanks.
Of course, Yuri. All right. Carolina, send me a private message on Instagram at David Adam Kurz and we'll connect. All right, Carolina? I'll type it in the message.
Thank you. Will do.
And then let's see what we got. All right. Any other speakers out there, or any speakers? Anybody else want to say something or jump in before we close out? All right. Looks like a no. I'm going to stop recording real quick.